Okay, AP class. This is an emergency recording. Um, in theory, we're supposed to meet live, but I did want to post something in case that live meeting fell apart. Now, I actually have a little bit more faith that it's going to happen with your class because there's only going to be 10 of us, including me, in that live session. But in the off chance that it failed, I recorded this video as a backup. So, first off, if the live session worked, turn me off, just be done with it. But if the live session failed, I wanted you to have this basic information and to let you know this is exactly why we're doing the majority of what we really have to know in recorded sessions. The live will supplement that. So I'm going to tell you what I would have done today and just sort of how class will move going forward. So first thing I would do is take roll call and attendance. And what's really nice about your class is that it is 9 students, 7 of which I know, which is always one of the advantages of AP. So Sophia, Elizabeth, Rachel, Lydia, Celia, Tiernan, and Easton. I had all but one of you in class. Rachel was in my homeroom. And it's just, I feel like we're ahead of the game when we already know some things about each other. I know a little bit about you guys, and you guys know, oh goodness, hopefully you haven't forgot how sarcastic I am. And let me know if I go too far with that. I certainly don't mean any harm by it, but you kind of know how I teach. Now, Tenon and Samantha, I don't know. I've heard really good things about. Samantha, I met briefly. Tenon, I didn't get a chance to. He wasn't on my orientation list. But we will get to know each other, and I don't want you guys to feel left out because I know the other ones. In a class of 9, we should have no problem building rapport and feeling pretty comfortable debating and arguing about things together. So what I would have talked to you about is how hard the class is. I do think it's one of the top 2 hardest classes in the high school. I do know for a fact that it is one of the 2 toughest AP exams, and that's why I made the class tough. If they make the test easier, I'll make the class easier, and I wouldn't mind that. It would be easier on me as well. But our results are really good considering by most standards, it's, according to the College Board, one of the top 2 toughest tests. Our grades match up with our results very well. So in other words, my A students average a 4 on the AP exam, my B students average a 3, so on and so forth. Now, certainly I've had outliers on both sides of things, and certainly we've had our share of 5s, but I am being honest and letting you know the average is 4.2 for A students, 3.2 for B students. I'm pretty happy with that. That's much higher than most people get. So I feel like we're doing the right thing. But because of that, because the class is so difficult, because such a small percentage by their own formula at the College Board get an A in this class. For example, some of you may have taken AP Government. Mr. Nedgley is a fantastic AP Government teacher. It is a neat class, but according to the College Board, it's by design not as hard. And I wish they'd flip that and let him have the tougher class, but right now that's just the way it is. So how will we do things? Well, the big thing we're going to be doing is teaching through the Google Stream. So again, hopefully we did this live, but just so you understand, I'm going to share the screen with you. And I'm actually sharing your feed, hopefully. There we go. Okay. So to accomplish this, by the way, little side note, this is a very Mr. Penrose sort of thing to do. I had to contact our school and create my own fake student account. That way I had access to the same things you had access to, which has been great because I found out some of my links weren't working, and you can't see that as a teacher because when you're looking at your own class, of course, you have access to all your own stuff. So you will notice, I'm not sure what I'm listed at. I think it says Mr. Penrose in the class roster. Here, let's look. We look under people. Obviously, I'm listed as your teacher. And then, oh, it won't show me because it shows you guys. See, I've been thrown bets. But anyway, there's my fake ID is a picture of Chris Hemsworth with a thing that says, it's really tiny, in really tiny writing. But yes, I took the time to create an icon that says, fake Mr. Penrose, fake student, really Mr. Penrose, but this is what I look like in my head. That's a very me thing to spend 20 minutes doing. But anyway, what I want you guys to know for this class is that this class is taught through the stream. I know different teachers did it different ways, but my intention is that every day we have school, which there's some confusion. I know we're not doing any live sessions on Wednesday, but we have school. So this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Next week, Monday through Friday. Most weeks, Monday through Friday. Any school day, look at it like this. Any day I'm getting paid to teach you history, there will be something posted in the stream. That's where my content will be. That's where I'll be teaching. So on a given day, what it's going to say right here is Tuesday, September 8th. Do this, do this. Watch this video, work on this essay or whatever it might be. Now your class is a little bit different in that you're not going to have worksheets. This is AP US history. You're going to have a unit essay and a unit test, and then occasionally a pop quiz, which I'll get to in a little bit. But everything I want to communicate to you, my recorded lectures, the resources I want you to have, it will appear in the stream. And the newest thing will be posted most recently. But let's just stick to normal sickness. Let's just say you got the flu for 2 days and you missed 2 days of online school. And if you were like, oh, I wonder what we did those 2 days, all you have to do is scroll down and it will say, you know, Thursday, September 10th, this is what you did. Friday, September 10th, you did this. And I may have those dates wrong, but you get the idea. And it's just, you're going to be able to scroll back as far as, you know, we're going to be in Google Classrooms. You're going to be able to scroll back and find out exactly what I was doing that day, the video lecture of that particular day, and then any assignments or links that you may need. So that's where it's at, in the stream. Classwork is a shortcut that will work for essays and pop quiz. Well, no, it'll only work for essays. But essays won't make sense at all if you're not going to the lectures. Now, we are supposed to meet live twice a week. Off the top of my head, I think it's Tuesdays and Fridays normally. Let me double check the live schedule. You have a magnet that came in your packet, but I'm looking at 6th period. Let's see, live Tuesday and Friday. So my intent is that our live sessions are only going to be review. Listen, these lectures are going to be shorter because I'm used to the kind of lecture that you have in college where I'm trying to elicit debate. So I'm going to bring up some ideas and say, okay, what do you think about indentured servitude? Is it fair? And Tiernan's going to say it is, and Rachel's going to say it isn't, and then we're going to debate that, and that's awesome. But if I'm recording the lecture, I'm going to fly through that stuff because there's no chance for that debate. But when we go live, either I will have just talked about that, or I'll be prepping you for that discussion, and that's when we can have these debates. We can have them in these live sessions. This is also your chance to ask me questions. Oh, I just didn't get this thing. I don't even know what this word is. And I know you're all very smart, but this textbook is written at, I believe, a 14th grade reading level. Remember, most textbooks are written at an 8th grade reading level, and this is written at a collegiate level, which is rare even for college textbooks. So those live sessions are going to help you understand this material. In a way, if we do this right, we almost have an advantage, not so much that I'd want to do this all the time, over a typical AP year, because in a typical AP year, we'd have 5 classes a week, and I would teach you 5 times a week, and that would be that. Now, in a way, I get to teach you 5 times a week, and then we have these 2 extra things that allow you this extra time to say, I don't get this thing. Explain this thing again. I watched your video twice, and you didn't do it right either time. I want you to tell me in a different way this thing, and that's what we can use these sessions for. I also will give you pop quizzes during our live sessions, not every time, once per unit. That's explained in the next video, which you are to watch whether the live session worked or not. But we have, pop quizzes are 5% of your grade. And so I've devised a way, rather evil way, that I can just send you a link during our live sessions and ask you verbally these questions. And they'll be for a pop quiz. So there is one other video for you to watch today. It's me going over your syllabus, and your class syllabus will be linked in here as well. The other things I was going to finish up on is basically, oh, I guess I can stop sharing this because you know you're going to go to the stream right after this and watch the videos there and click on anything you want to there. Oh, and since then, Rachel has popped in there. Hi, Rachel. I knew you'd be first, but you were still later. I still had to create my fake Chris Hemsworth account. But anyway, so this is what we would have talked about. I would have said, what have you heard about the class? And what most people tell me most years is that it's very, very hard. That's what they heard, but it's fun. And I hope it's fun, because really it would not be very rewarding to work as hard as you're going to work if it wasn't at least fun. Although I will say, I'm a strong believer in AP, that it'll be worth it even if you don't have fun, because if you do this right and you get college credit, for my son in particular, his AP scores allowed him to graduate a year early, whereas in his case, don't know how it works for everybody else. He went to Ohio University, Southern Ohio, Athens, Ohio. His BG classes didn't transfer, or they technically transferred, but they didn't apply to his major. There was some goofy thing, and maybe that's on OU, and maybe that's just our bad experience, but all of his AP credit worked, and it bought him a year of college, and he graduated with a 4-year degree in 3 years. So I hope you heard it was fun. If you heard it was challenging, I'd like to think it's worth it. I already gave the sarcasm warning. I am one of those guys who's wired to be sarcastic. If I ever offend you, you let me know. You let me know ahead of time. You just don't like that sort of interplay. That's fine. I do think I take it pretty well too. But again, I don't want to accidentally cross any lines that you are uncomfortable with. I am one of those guys that is like my own friends are pretty hard on me and I'm pretty hard on them, but it's from a good place, so it doesn't bother me. But not everybody's wired like that. So please let me know if that bothers you, and no problem. I will emphasize that I kind of go over this in the other video. Grades are something that I struggle to emphasize in AP. In honors and social studies too, US history, 10th grade, I really push, get the best grade you can. In AP, I tend to back off a little bit, only because some of you are going to have the lowest grade of your life working as hard as you've ever worked. Now, some are still going to get an A. Hopefully you work harder than normal for it. But what I would tell you is that I think it's going to be worth it. And I have to give you the workload that's reflective of this test. That's the whole goal, is to pass this test. Of course, to learn US history, but really you don't want to go through this if you can't pick up enough credits, 3 to 6 credits in most schools, up to 12 hours in some, for a good AP score. That said, it's weighted, so a B is an A. And I would tell you a C or higher is worth it. A D is a total waste of your time. Total waste of your time. And by the way, I can already tell you there's 2 students who are thinking to themselves right now, wait, hold on, if I get an F, is that a D? No, that's not how the weighting works. You are going to have an SLO tomorrow. It's a pre-test. I don't know if it's technically an SLO. That will be your only task tomorrow. It'll be one of the few days tomorrow that we don't have a video, because I'm going to consume your entire class time with this test. Let me be abundantly clear. You're going to trash this test. If you don't trash this test, I might ask you to co-teach with me, because there are some things on here that I can give to very smart, we have very good history teachers in this department in our school. But if you haven't brushed up on this particular depth of history and colonial history, there's no way you pass this test. I think the highest score I've had on this test is like a 42%. But at the end of the year, I'm going to give you a very similar test, and you're going to do great on it. That's my job. So I'm not going to worry about putting a time limit. I don't believe, I may, but I don't think I'm going to put a time limit on this SLO, because there's no reason to cheat, because it doesn't affect your grade. It's only giving me the information. We're only going to have a problem if you don't do it or refuse to do it. But if you do it, I literally don't, I shouldn't say literally don't care. I care in that I want to get these results and use them to make you better history students. But I mean, I'm not going to be disappointed when you get a 25%, because I sort of fully expect you to get, most people get somewhere around a 30%, 35%. I mean, it's brutal, but I'm going to give you that exact same test, and you're going to get an 80, 90, 95% on that test in the spring. That's the nature of learning something new. I have great faith in your abilities to learn. I do not have great faith in your ability to already know the level of detail that this test is going to ask you tomorrow. So don't worry about it. Take your 45 minutes to complete it, and not think about it again until the spring. You will notice that I posted a playlist on Sunday. I'll be totally upfront with you. I'm not a huge fan of playlists. It's just kind of not the way I think. I definitely plan, big planner. That's why I'm posting it. If you are curious, what are we doing Monday through Friday? That playlist will give you an idea. But I'm also going to tell you on the first day of each unit. Here's what we're going to cover. Here's the day the essay is going to be due, which will be a day before the test. And here's the day of the test. And that's all you really need to know, because the nightly reading will be posted in the stream as well. So what are we doing? Every single day, it's virtually the same. That's one of the comforting things about this class. It has a pattern. We're going to be the first day of the unit assigning an essay, probably reviewing the essay results from the last unit, starting a new unit. Lecture, discussion. We do that for as many days as the unit is, which is usually 8 days is kind of the average. The day before the unit ends, we collect essays and do some sort of review game. And then the last day of the unit, we take the test. And then we start it all over again. It's just that simple. It's just complicated material. So that's all I have. I hope you didn't have to watch this video. And I hope everything went smoothly. But I'm a little cynical when it comes to technology during this pandemic. All right. Thank you, everybody. Be ready for that test tomorrow, and I will have a recorded lecture for you on Thursday. See ya.